Well, this is a little bit different, isn't it? You don't have a chiseled face in front of you, a welcoming deep baritone voice. You've got me, little old Pezzy, holding the fort solo today. Welcome to the Grade Cricketers analysis, deep analysis of day three between South Africa and India from Centurion. Of course, it is all thanks to the people who may offer insurance on Centurion for South Africa as it is crumbling as its own fortress, and that is ACO, India's leading digital insurance company. My name's Sam Perry, and my name's Sam Perry, and it's just me. And why is that? Well, look, and I'm going to say this in Higgins' defence, right? Look, we gave it a bit of a nudge last night. Okay, it was Scott Boland's day. We were in Victoria, and we gave it a nudge. It was a feast of celebrations, absolutely stuffed. Couldn't have another bite. But I've turned up because people need to know what happened in this game. And thank you for listening, and thank you for watching. And I apologise that there aren't more trappings for the eyes in the way that Higgins can provide. But I will do my best. I will do my best with your support and your comments running through my head as I do this. What happened overnight in the game between South Africa and India? Let me give some quick scores. India finished with 327, rolled pretty quickly, has to be said. KL Rahul wasn't able to add really to his score. Mafioso didn't get his 50. And then we thought, can South Africa do something? Have they brought their way back into the match? Brought their way or fought their way back into the match? The answer was no, of course. India in complete control. South Africa all out 195. Mo Shami, who I'm looking forward to talking about later, takes 5 gets his 200th test wicket. All fun stats and records and woodwork, stuff like that. And then India, they've made 18 overnight. They've lost a wicket, but they're in total control. They're ahead by 146 runs with a wicket down, so now they're just going to set a total. Now, can I put it in grade terms? Well, it was an 18-wicket day, so pitch it up and take your catches. That's it. Pitch it up. You'll be fine. Present the seam. You'll be fine. But let's get into it. First thing, India collapsed early. And was this a problem for them? Not really, because they need to speed the game up, given they lost a day to rain yesterday. They started 272 for 3. All the talk around the table last night in Richmond was about whether KL Rahul could add to his overnight tally and whether Mafioso Rahane would be able to register the big score that many think he needs. Well, the answer on both fronts was no. And Geedy and Rabada pretty much went through these coats. KL Rahul added 1. Mafioso missed out on a 50. Punt missed out as well. And Geedy ends with 6 for 71. Rabada 3 for. India lose 7 for 55. All out 327. It's all done in 81 minutes. But then you step back and you think, 327, that'll play. The wicket's been subject to rain overnight. And, the Indian seamers should be fine. Let's move into the second one. South Africa, they cannot capitalise. Of course they can't. Now, Mo Shami and Mo Siraj actually had to hold up the fort here while Jasprit Bumrah was off with a sprained ankle. And there was some weird drone shots, because I did watch every ball of this match. It actually doesn't need saying, of Bumrah getting some help from physios and shit like that. Anyway, he comes back onto the field later and takes a wicket because of course he does. And I just want to make one point about Jasprit Bumrah. No, not about his ankle. He's looking thick. Bumrah, double C thick, not only through the beard, which is looking very kind of fatherly and authoritative. I've got a stutter. It's through the chest and the pipes, actually. Maybe not so much pipes yet, but chest. And we don't associate that with Indian cricketers that much. And I just want to say, I know the Aussie quicks, they've told us directly, they're not allowed to do bench press. So if India want to inflict further psychological damage on this country, which is on a high at the moment, Scotty Boland, etc., start producing some chest cricketers. Start getting in the bench. I don't know. I don't know what physios or sports scientists say, but I know you'll get a psychological edge for doing it. Now, I'm meant to be talking about South Africa's batting, and that's how I've started. 31 for 4 at one point. That was after lunch, and a little bit of a partnership between Bavuma and De Kock. De Kock looking elegant as ever. Love the way he hits the ball. Bavuma stroking everything through extra cover, just flinging the bat at it. He ends up with 50 test match runs that I've never scored before, but I'll describe his innings as flinging his bat at it. But yeah, who breaks that partnership? Do I need to even say it? The Lord does, of course. Lord Shadul Thakur. Did I get that right? He breaks that partnership. There's a mini partnership later between, I want to say, Rabada and Marco Jansen. The Lord knocks that over as well. It all felt fairly inevitable. I mean, this was just India presenting the seam, wickets behind the stumps, wickets in the grippers, catches in the grippers, catches for punt, and some resistance occasionally, but 195 just felt like, yeah, this is going to come, and then he's going to have a big lead. The third thing, because I'll make this show quicker than normal, is that Shami takes 5. So let's wax lyrical about Mo Shami. 5 for the game, 200 test match cricket wickets. Now, I'm saying this from Crick Buzz, and thank you, Crick Buzz. He's the only bowler to do this, take 200 test wickets in less than 10,000 deliveries. My back hurts thinking about bowling 10,000 deliveries. Also, I sort of had an L5S1 issue 2-3 years ago. I actually should have gone out instead of gone home. I was just bending over to sort of put my pajamas on, bang, and it goes. It caused me great problems, especially with a baby trying to bend over. You have no idea how much lower back work there is with a child, and then doing dishes and stuff. But anyway, I'll fix that up. But Mo Shami, he hasn't needed to fix stuff up because he's bowled less than 10,000 test deliveries in test match cricket, but taken 200 wickets. The only guy to have done that. He says in response to his milestone, test cricket is no rocket science. All right, mate. All you need to do is adapt to the conditions and execute. Well, there you have it, guys. That's all and you are, guys, 97% of you, according to YouTube. All you have to do is adapt for test cricket and execute. I suppose the execution bit is what we all strive for, and 99.99% of us fail. And then the adapting bit, well, I don't know what he's talking about because I pretty much just sort of played in the one metropolitan region. Adapting was like, going out to Campbelltown and seeing that a lot of the guys had like more sponsors on their t-shirts because the community supported the cricket more, and they were a lot more vocal. So anyway, Mo Shami has to do a little bit more adaptation than that. What I like about Mo Shami, ladies and gentlemen, is his all-seam presentation. I defy anybody on YouTube, and I know a lot of people will take this up now that I say this, to find a modern-day bowler who presents the seam as beautifully as Mo Shami. Now, beauty, aesthetics, a matter of subjectivity, so you'll never actually be right. If I believe that Mo Shami is beautiful, then that cannot be usurped, if that's my true view. But he's all seam presentation, beautiful lengths. He bowls that hard length that no doubt he's copied from Scott Boland. It's the Boland length. It's just that Mo Shami's been doing it for longer and has, I think, 195 more wickets, maybe a few less. But yeah, he bowls that hard length, the Scott Boland length. He deserves everything he gets. What else can you say about Mo Shami? Talk about chest cricketers. My God, it's a burly chest. We love how it runs in. We love the rolling shoulder boulders. Mo Shami seems like a kindly man. He seems like he'd be a kindly father who'd sit at the head of the table. He'd love his children loyally and fiercely, and yet you wouldn't fuck with him at the table. He might have a laugh with you, but if you say the wrong thing, he'll just give you the eyes, Mo Shami. Now, I have no idea about his background, how much of this may or may not be true, and again, I'm sure you'll let me know. But that's just how it looks to me from afar, okay? And that's the sort of entertainment and the content that I, by myself, today, are keen to provide you. Let's go to hashtag AskTGC, which again is thanks to ACO. They may need to ensure he goes at the moment. With respect to he goes, and I hope he's feeling well. I don't even know who wrote this. Boys! What do India have to do? Let me do that again. But what do India have to do to go down as one of the best teams ever? They've beaten Australia and Australia twice, a pending win in South Africa, a win in England, all while being unbeatable at home. One of the best teams ever. Well, if we're talking history, I think it's going to take a little while. How do you get there, India? They're definitely on the mountain. We know they're on the mountain, We've developed a brand off the idea of the Asian century because it's true. But to be one of the best ever, I think you're going to have to, firstly, be the best at the moment. And I think the Kiwis are. And that was a very laboured wink. And you're going to have to be World Test champions. But really what you need to do is you need to, obviously, destroy everybody at home in a kind of vicious, ruthless way, which India, to be fair, essentially does. And then you have to win away consistently over and over and over again. So the last greatest team that went round is probably the Australian team from the 2000s. People might argue that England were good for a while, but I think the point is that England were just good once, and then they get a lot of entertainment and content out of that. It's kind of like how they won in '05, a home Ashes series, and then they got an open-top bus parade. I don't think we're organising one in Australia, but nevertheless, that's just an English thing for those who are saying that at home. They need to win over and over and over and over. 2 cycles, 3 cycles. They need to make cricket boring for everybody else. I think that's the hallmark of a really good side. Well, that was the hallmark of the Australian side, as the cricket became boring and inevitable. India, you see glimpses of it, but it's still a ways to go. They've got middle order things to sort out. They've got some generational change coming up. And, as a piece of advice, I'd say cool your jets on it. Enjoy the journey. Don't rush. Don't be impatient for greatness. Everything systemically and structurally points to unmatched Indian dominance in world cricket for the next century, as we've already kind of forecasted. Just enjoy it. It'll come, but let us have our own little victories in the meantime. Can't wait for the IPL to start either. Hey, thank you for enduring that. Well wishes to Higgins. I hope that I was able to hold up the fort. The show obviously has to go on. It has to go on. You must know what happened between South Africa and India at Centurion Day 3. And I hope I've been able to provide something there for you. Higgins will return. Yes, you're thinking it. I'm thinking it. And we will look forward to it. But until then, have a great time. I think India is just going to roll through these coats. Cheers.